Hey, I'm Randy, and you're watching The Cheap Audio Man. Here at The Cheap Audio Man, we talk about high-value hi-fi, home theater, headphones, just about anything that makes music. And today, we're talking about the Bestisan subwoofer. Yeah, it's a little subwoofer. You know it's a good subwoofer when you can pick it up with one hand. So, sit down, grab a cup of coffee, and let's talk about the Bestisan subwoofer. Okay, no sponsor today. We're going to jump right into it. Some are going to think that there is an overall negative vibe to this review about the Bestisan subwoofer. And you're probably right. I'm not saying this is worthless. What I'm saying is you may want to watch this whole thing if you are considering this product. It does have a use case scenario. Okay? So, again, we can pick it up with one hand, okay? I weighed this. If this had a tab, I would hold it in my teeth. So, I weighed this. 8 pounds. 8 pounds. And just to give some perspective on that, the Polk SW10, which is their inexpensive low-tier subwoofer, weighs 24 pounds. Now, it's a 10-inch subwoofer. It's more traditional subwoofer. The Sony entry-level subwoofer, now that's more expensive, but it does regularly go on sale down to half or 50%, so around $100, $115. That one weighs 24 pounds. The mono price, 60 watts. It's an 8-inch sub, which I personally own. I have it at work. I don't know how much that one weighs. It doesn't say. But I can guarantee you it weighs more than this. Now, I'm not saying just because they weigh more, they're better, but I'm saying because they weigh more, they're better. On the front here, you have a port. The driver is on the side. They claim it's a 6.5-inch woofer. I would believe it. And on the back, that's where things get real interesting. On the top, you have the volume or the gain, whatever you could call it. And it also changes the inputs. You see, so this is kind of a special sub. You can connect it with a digital input from a TV or, well, whatever has a digital output. It has an optical input. You can connect it via RCA. You can connect it via Bluetooth, of all things. There is a sound bar that the same company makes. The theory goes that you connect Bluetooth to the subwoofer and then you run RCA out into the sound bar. And now you have a wireless Bluetooth solution. I didn't have the soundbar. I did get it to hook up to Bluetooth though. One can also connect a TV or anything with the digital out into the optical in, and then again RCA out into powered speakers or their soundbar. Okay, so how's it built? It actually doesn't look bad. It has some nice rounded edges. The wrap is well done for the most part. But, all right, and I know everyone's gonna, not everybody, some people are gonna say, well, this isn't a good judge of how well something is braced, but we're gonna do it anyway. Yeah, sounds like a wooden 5-gallon bucket. Whoa, not braced well. And if it is braced well, then maybe it's made out of foam because, again, 8 pounds. So let's get back to the volume and selector knob. It just spins. It just spins. You can just continue to spin it to the right, and it will max out the volume or the gain or the levels, whatever you want to call it. It just spins. And I tried to count because it does click. So there's a click, but it into infinity. You can keep turning up. I tried to count and I put my hand on it and I had it going from the time where I couldn't feel like any vibration and I had the volume turned up. I think it's around 10 or 11 clicks, but you don't know when you're starting. So this thing is being dialed in completely by ear or ESP. Telepathically, you're figuring out where to put the levels on this thing. Not a big fan of it just spinning into the cosmos. All right, the low pass filter. It has frequency response. It says 60 on the low end up to 250 hertz. I don't know. I mean, with the volume knob, it doesn't matter. You just dial it in wherever you think, leave it in the middle. I will say though, it does work because I turned it and I could tell that the subwoofer was picking up more and more frequencies that it was reproducing on the low end. This thing is rated down to 50 hertz. I know that doesn't sound very low, but a lot of the subwoofers in this price category, or even double the price, rated down to maybe 50 or 40. I did put it on a tone generator because oftentimes, even though it's rated down to 50, you can still hear things. I heard some bass down to, usable bass probably down to maybe 35 hertz. It was there and I could hear it. I did play Narcissistic Cannibal by Korn, 1 minute mark, doo-doo, goes really low. Didn't even hear it. Wasn't even like it didn't exist on this. The Bestisan subwoofer just couldn't handle it. How's it sound? It works, okay? So this thing does work. Everything works. The digital input works, the Bluetooth works, and connecting it traditionally with an RCA, it works just fine. I had it hooked up to the SMSL DA9. The Gashelli J2 was feeding it. Amazon Music out of my computer was the source. It worked. It worked with Bluetooth. It worked with digital. It works. The problem is when you actually listen to it. It's a bunch of uncontrolled, muddy, sloppy bass. This is like your buddy who's married, doesn't get out very much, but you go to a dollar beer night at the baseball game, maybe the hockey game. He gets going really early, and then sloppy. Sloppy. This is sloppy. I literally just dropped it on my ankle and it didn't even hurt, and then it goes boom. Yeah. Bestisan subwoofer. So I said at the beginning that there is a use case scenario. At the 60, 70, 80 hertz, that's where this thing can reproduce a lot of bass. I had this running with the Mookie. They're the little $65 bookshelf speakers. And it really did fill in the bass. It was sloppy. It was boomy and muddy and just all over the place. But when I figured out the mystery volume knob and got it tuned down just really, really, really low, and then I dialed back the crossover really, really low, 70 hertz maybe, gain, down around whatever, 2. It's a mystery. I don't know what levels I'm at on the volume. It was okay. It filled things in. In a big room, this thing also started distorting fairly early. Beyond a office space, not the movie, however the movie is great, where's my stapler? Beyond an office space, can you come in on Saturday? Now I'm thinking about that movie. It's a great movie. Jennifer Aniston, that other guy, they all work at Initech, the Bobs. If you haven't watched that movie, go watch that movie. The Bobs are worth it alone. The guy with the stapler. It's a fun movie. Incidentally, that was written by the same people that wrote or created Beavis and Butthead. Okay, besides an office space, extremely small apartment, that's really the only place I could see this happening. Really, you're better off just saving a bit more, waiting for that Sony to go on sale down to about 100, 115, buying the Polk SW10 even at 130. It's way better. I have 2 of those, and my son has 2 of them, and they're great. The mono price, 60 watt, it has speaker level inputs. All these other ones have speaker level inputs too. If you just have an amp, you're not hooking it up to this. You need a source that has a subwoofer out, or you need a source that has variable volume, i.e. a DAC with volume control to run it into this and run it out. If you just have speaker level outs, you're not hooking it up to this subwoofer. This thing is sloppy. If you are tight on space and you turn this way down, you put it under your desk or something, maybe. I had high hopes for this thing for 70, 75 bucks, but as soon as I took it out of the box, I wasn't optimistic. And there are better options. If you have space, there are much better options out there. If you don't have space, maybe look at it, but turn it way down until you can barely hear it, and dial the low pass filter down a lot. Okay. Sorry, Bestisan. You're not very good. If you want to support the channel, you can sign up for Patreon, patreon.com/cheapaudioman. Every Sunday night, we have Patreon-only Zooms. You can also sign up for Amazon Music. There's a link in the description. Sign up. You get a few months for free. You may get some Disney Plus for free. I get a few dollars, and you get the lowest cost HD music or high-res music available, which also pays the artist more than most of the other streaming services. You can also use the affiliate links in the description. This one will be linked there. I don't know if you should buy it though. Most of the links are affiliate links, which means if you click on them and you purchase anything, I will get a commission. It doesn't cost you any more, so it's a great way to support the channel. I almost said support the family. So don't binge watch anything on Netflix or Hulu. Binge listen, maybe, through your Bestisan subwoofer. Fill your soul with happiness. And with that, I'm Randy. I'm the Cheap Audio Man.